Breaking news, Donald Trump may very well lose the 2024 election because MAGA is incapable of hiding their racism and hiding their sexism when attacking VP Harris, and I don't think swing voters like it. They've called VP Harris a DEI hire. They've implied that she's not qualified because she's a woman, and they also compared her to Taylor Swift, which backfired in a spectacular way. There's also an article titled House GOP Leaders Urge Members Stop Making Race Comments About Harris, again, because it's unpopular with normal Americans who don't like racism, who don't like sexism. You know, if they wanted to attack VP Harris on her policy, on her past in politics, then that is fine. That is actually how politics is supposed to work. But these disgusting insults about her race and about her sex need to stop. Leave a like on the video if you're fully behind VP Harris. But this article reads, Ben Shapiro's weird insult to Kamala Harris and Taylor Swift backfires. Conservative political commentator Ben Shapiro, just the worst of the worst, he's always running defense for Donald Trump, likened the mounting excitement around VP Harris to pop star Taylor Swift, but of course he meant it as an insult. In an interview with Fox News' Jesse Waters Tuesday night, Shapiro took aim at Harris by comparing her to one of the most popular musicians in the world. Quote, "I've never seen this much manufactured enthusiasm for anyone outside of maybe Taylor Swift," Shapiro said. I can actually play the clip for you right here.
Exactly do her qualifications look like, other than, again, the sort of intersectional magic of Kamala Harris and the fact that Democrats have to manufacture enthusiasm for, I've never seen this much manufactured enthusiasm for anyone outside of maybe Taylor Swift's last album. It's amazing.
Yeah, me neither.
What does he mean that she's not qualified? She's been a district attorney, an attorney general. She's been a senator, then she was the vice president of the United States. She is more than qualified. She may be one of the most qualified people in the country right now, but Ben Shapiro can't see past the fact that she's a woman. And maybe if you sprinkle a little bit of racism in there, you can see where Ben Shapiro's coming from. I don't understand how you can see VP Harris as not qualified. He also threw in this phrase, she has no qualifications, quote, other than intersectional magic. That is pretty much just straight up racism and sexism. Shapiro's dig may come back to haunt him, as Harris has demonstrated one important similarity to Swift, her ability to get out the vote. In the 2 days following Joe Biden's endorsement of Harris, Vote.org saw 38,500 new voter signups, mostly people 34 and under. In October, when Taylor Swift posted on Instagram for National Voter Registration Day, she inspired 35,000 new voters, so similar numbers, but both of these people are able to inspire voters. I don't know why MAGA is going down this route of attacking people like Taylor Swift, attacking the women in America when they're already historically unpopular with suburban women. Yeah, why not go after Taylor Swift? JD Vance also launched an attack. This reads, JD Vance says women who haven't given birth, like Kamala Harris, are, quote, childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and have, quote, no direct stake in America. Number one, even if you're a childless cat lady, as he says, you are still an American citizen and do have stake in the country. Number two, you are attacking millions of young women in America when you say that, and Taylor Swift is one of those cat ladies that you're talking about, and she is proud of it. She's always talking about it. I don't know why MAGA is going with this strategy of alienating core demographics. It seems like they keep doubling down on this MAGA sphere that they have. That's what Donald Trump did when he chose JD Vance. That was a large doubling down of MAGA, of the MAGA world. Also, Larry Kudlow has said Kamala Harris is DEI. This is just straight up racist.
And of course, her whole history is DEI, diversity, exclusion, and equity.
He doesn't even know what it is. He can't even say it right.
I mean, inclusion and equity. I mean, what does that tell you? It's totally woke and it's anti-cops, among all the other things, putting the economics aside. More DEI, defund the police, eliminate ICE, never even talk to the chiefs of the Border Patrol. I mean, really? How's she going to stand up to that?
Well, she's for globalization. She's for one world government. She's for this country going the way of socialism, maybe.
This is wild, y'all. This entire clip so far is just them throwing out buzzwords. It really feels like Republicans are struggling to find their footing. They don't know how to attack VP Harris because she is strong. She is good at what she does. She has a good record. She's a good public speaker. They can't attack her, so they're just throwing out buzzwords. I swear to God, I was counting. There were like 9 buzzwords in the past 30 seconds. Absolutely disgusting stuff. Here's an article that I found kind of funny but also disgusting. House GOP leaders urge members stop making race comments about Harris. House Republican leaders told lawmakers to focus on criticizing VP Harris's record without reference to her race and gender. That's what I was saying earlier. If you want to criticize somebody's record in politics, that's how the game is played. But the fact that they can't stop themselves from focusing on her race and gender kind of tells us a lot about them, no? Following caustic remarks from some Republicans attacking her on the basis of identity. Not just some Republicans, many Republicans were calling her a DEI pick, a DEI member, as we just saw. During a closed-door meeting Tuesday morning, yesterday, chair of the House GOP campaign arm, Richard Hudson, and others issued the warning after a series of comments by their members that focused on Harris's race, as well as claims she's a, quote, DEI pick, according to two people in the room. In the 48 hours since President Joe Biden dropped out of the presidential race, Republican leaders have tried to train their criticism of the presumptive Democratic nominee on her handling of the border and her plan to skip Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's speech before Congress. But several Republicans immediately took the criticism in a different direction. Representative Tim Burchett said Monday Harris was a DEI vice president. That doesn't even make sense at all. And Representative Glenn Grotham said over the weekend, questioned if Democrats are sticking by her, quote, because of her ethnic background. If nominated, Harris would be the first black and South Asian woman to be a major party nominee. No, we're sticking behind her because we believe in her and we think that she gives us the best chance to beat Donald Trump. It's also just awesome that she would be the first black woman president. I think that is an awesome bonus on the side. But the idea that VP Harris was picked as VP solely because of her race and solely because of her gender is totally false. While yes, a lot of times VPs are picked to shore up support in demographics that you're weak in, Biden already had a close relationship with Harris, and she is incredibly qualified. More qualified than all of the people sending out random tweets about how she's a DEI pick. Quote, this should not be about personalities. It should be about policy, and we have a record to compare, Speaker Mike Johnson told Politico, which is actually somewhat mature, but it's coming from one of the worst people in the world, so it doesn't have any credibility behind it. As he left the Tuesday meeting, saying Harris would have to answer for Biden's record. Please attack Harris on Joe Biden and Harris's record, because the Biden administration has passed historically progressive legislation when it comes to climate change, when it comes to education reform, when it comes to gun reform. They even opened the Office of Gun Control Prevention. It's just the Biden administration, if you want to attack them on their record, you're going to have a hard time. Quote, this has nothing to do with race. It has to do with the competence of the person running for president, the relative strength of the two candidates, and what ideas they have on how to solve America's problems. And I think in that comparison, we'll win in a landslide, said Speaker Mike Johnson. Again, a relatively mature statement from him. I was kind of expecting Speaker of the House Mike Johnson to come out and be like, a DEI hire, but he's saying, guys, chill out. That's what he's saying. The remarks about Harris's race have privately infuriated some Republicans who feels it shifts the spotlight back on the GOP instead of Democrats' missteps. I'm going to wrap it up there. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, comment a blue heart, hit that subscribe button. Most importantly, have a great day.